The brutal murder of Marlin Barnes, a promising linebacker for the University of Miami Hurricanes, and his friend Timwanika Lumpkins on April 13, 1996, sent shockwaves through the university community and beyond. Barnes, born on April 6, 1974, had overcome a challenging upbringing in Florida's housing projects to become the first in his family to attend college. However, his promising career in life were tragically cut short when he and Lumpkins were viciously beaten to death in Barnes' on-campus apartment. The horrific crime, driven by jealousy and domestic violence, not only ended to young lives, but also highlighted the dark undercurrents that can exist beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary relationships. But first, subscribe to our channel for more content, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Marlin Barnes was born on April 6, 1974, and grew up in a challenging environment in Florida. Despite the hardships, Barnes was determined to rise above his circumstances. His mother, Charlie Postel, worked tirelessly to provide a better life for her family, which eventually led them to move to a safer neighborhood in Miami Gardens. Barnes' dedication to football became apparent early on, and he harbored dreams of achieving greatness in the sport. His hard work and perseverance paid off when he earned a spot on the University of Miami's football team, making him the first in his family to attend college. His journey from a tough upbringing to a promising future in football was a testament to his resilience and determination. In addition to his athletic pursuits, Marlin Barnes was deeply committed to giving back to his community. He co-founded the Right Track program in North Miami, a non-profit organization aimed at steering troubled youth away from crime and towards positive activities. Barnes, along with Lawrence Wright, a defensive back from the University of Florida, shared a common concern for the well-being of young people in their community. The Right Track program provided mentorship, support, and opportunities for personal growth, reflecting Barnes' dedication to making a positive impact beyond the football field. His involvement in the organization showcased his leadership and compassion, qualities that endeared him to many. Marlin Barnes' football career at the University of Miami was marked by his role as a linebacker for the Hurricanes. Standing 6 feet tall and weighing 120 pounds, Barnes played as a second-string linebacker, but was recognized for his significant improvement and potential. In the spring of 1996, he was named the Most Improved Player, highlighting his dedication and hard work. Barnes' talent and commitment to the sport were evident, and he was well regarded by his teammates and coaches. His close friendship with Ray Lewis, who later became an NFL star, further underscored his integration into the football community. Barnes' promising career was tragically cut short by his untimely death, but his legacy as a dedicated athlete and community activist continues to be remembered. On the night of April 12, 1996, Marlin Barnes, a promising linebacker for the University of Miami Hurricanes, and his friend Timwanika Lumpkins attended a party at Club Salvation. After the event, they returned to Barnes' on-campus apartment in the early hours of April 13th. What should have been a routine night out for the two friends would tragically become their last. The horrific discovery was made later that morning when Barnes' roommate, Earl Little, returned to the apartment. As Little approached, he noticed that 2 tires on his Ford Explorer had been slashed. Upon attempting to enter the apartment, he found the door obstructed. Peering through a small opening, Little was confronted with a gruesome sight. Barnes' body slumped against the door, surrounded by a pool of blood. Little immediately called for help, and when the authorities arrived, they found Barnes barely clinging to life. The young athlete had been brutally beaten, with severe trauma to his face and head. Despite efforts to save him, Barnes was pronounced dead at the scene. As police searched the apartment, They made another shocking discovery in one of the bedrooms. Lumpkins was found severely injured, pinned between the bed and the wall. Emergency responders rushed Lumpkins to the hospital, but tragically, she succumbed to her injuries en route. The brutal nature of the attack was evident, with reports indicating that blood had spattered up to the ceiling and walls. The deaths of Barnes and Lumpkins, both just 22 years old, sent shockwaves through the University of Miami community and beyond, leaving friends, family, and teammates grappling with the senseless loss of two young lives. The investigation into the brutal murders of Marlin Barnes and Timwanika Lumpkins began immediately after their bodies were discovered on April 13, 1996. The crime scene was described by officials as exceptionally violent, with blood spattered on the walls and ceiling. Among the evidence collected was an unused shotgun shell and what appeared to be a shotgun trigger guard, suggesting that a shotgun had been used in the attack. The severity of the injuries indicated that Barnes and Lumpkins had been beaten with the butt of the shotgun, which was found broken at the scene. This evidence pointed investigators towards a crime of extreme rage and brutality. As the investigation progressed, police interviewed numerous individuals to piece together the events leading up to the murders. They focused on the relationships and interactions of both victims. Barnes was known to be a well-liked individual with no known enemies, which initially puzzled investigators. However, it soon became clear that Lumpkins had been involved in a tumultuous relationship, which provided a potential motive for the crime. Witnesses and friends of the victims were questioned extensively, and a clearer picture of the night began to emerge. A significant breakthrough in the investigation came when a woman approached the police with crucial information about her cousin's involvement in the case. The woman, Bernadette Hardy, lived with her cousin Joseph Stewart's girlfriend, Zamoria Wilson. Hardy testified that Stewart had lent a shotgun to the suspect on April 7, 1996, just days before the murders of Marlin Barnes and Timwanika Lumpkins. This revelation was pivotal, as it provided a direct link between the suspect and the weapon used in the brutal killings. Hardy's testimony also included details about the suspect's visit to her home early on the morning of the murders, further implicating him in the crime. The investigation also uncovered details about a car that the suspect had borrowed on the night of the murders. It was revealed that the suspect had borrowed a grey Nissan from his girlfriend, Watisha Wallace. This vehicle was seen by a gas station attendant near the University of Miami campus on the night of the murders. The attendant reported that a man in a grey Nissan had been loitering in the parking lot and had refused to leave when asked. Although the police initially dismissed the car as unrelated, further investigation confirmed that it was indeed the vehicle borrowed by the suspect. This information helped to establish the suspect's presence near the crime scene around the time of the murders. The combination of Hardy's testimony about the shotgun and the evidence related to the borrowed car provided a compelling case against the suspect. The shotgun, which was later found damaged and missing its trigger guard, matched the fragments recovered at the crime scene. This physical evidence, along with the suspect's suspicious behavior and movements on the night of the murders, led to his arrest on April 30, 1996. The charges included 2 counts of first-degree murder, burglary with assault or battery while armed, and criminal mischief. The arrest marked a significant step towards justice for the families of Marlin Barnes and Timwanika Lumpkins, who had been left devastated by the tragic loss of their loved ones. The trial of LeBron Dennis for the murders of Marlin Barnes and Timwanika Lumpkins began with a heavy atmosphere, as the brutal nature of the crime had already captured public attention. Flora Seff, the Miami-Dade Assistant State's Attorney, led the prosecution, painting a vivid picture of the violent and premeditated nature of the murders. She described the crime scene in graphic detail, emphasizing the brutality of the attack, with blood spattered up to the ceiling and walls. The prosecution's strategy focused on presenting compelling physical evidence, including the broken shotgun used in the murders, and testimonies that established Dennis's motive rooted in jealousy and rage. Key testimonies during the trial included those from witnesses who had seen Dennis near the crime scene and those who knew of his tumultuous relationship with Lumpkins. The prosecution introduced evidence of Dennis's prior stalking behavior and violent incidents, which portrayed him as a possessive and jealous individual. Forensic experts testified about the injuries sustained by Barnes and Lumpkins, explaining how the wounds were consistent with being beaten by the butt of a shotgun. The state also presented composite pictures comparing the victim's wounds with the broken shotgun, reinforcing the argument that Dennis had used a weapon in the attack. Despite the defense's efforts, the jury found Dennis guilty on all counts, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary with assault or battery while armed. The penalty phase of the trial saw the jury recommending the death penalty with a vote of 11-1, and Dennis was subsequently sentenced to death in 1999. However, in 2016, the Florida Supreme Court ruled to reopen multiple death row sentences, including Dennis's, based on the jury's vote. In 2020, the court upheld the reversal of his death penalty conviction, removing Dennis from death row. Prosecutors have since been seeking to reinstate the death sentence, a process that remains pending and continues to evoke strong emotions from the families of the victims. Marlin Barnes' legacy is one of resilience, dedication, and community spirit. Despite growing up in challenging circumstances, Barnes rose above his environment to become a promising linebacker for the University of Miami Hurricanes. His hard work and talent on the football field earned him recognition as the most improved player in the spring of 1996. Beyond his athletic achievements, Barnes co-founded the Right Track program, a non-profit organization dedicated to helping troubled youth find positive paths in life. His commitment to giving back to his community and mentoring young people showcased his character and the potential for a bright future that was tragically cut short. The brutal murders of Marlin Barnes and Timwanika Lumpkins left an indelible mark on the University of Miami community and highlighted the devastating impact of domestic violence and jealousy. The case brought attention to the importance of addressing such issues proactively and ensuring that victims of domestic violence receive the support and protection they need. Barnes is remembered not only for his athletic prowess, but also for his kindness, leadership, and dedication to making a positive difference in the lives of others. His mother, Charlie Postel, has continued to advocate for justice and the remembrance of her son's legacy, ensuring that his contributions and the impact he had on those around him are not forgotten.